I also grocery shopped at Walmart today, which resulted in me spending $100 instead of the $30 I needed to spend, because I bought stuff I didn't need. You know. Speaking of which, book haul. Hi everyone, it's Holly and I'm here with my September book haul, and it's got some shadows because I just have a bunch of lights on because it's like 9 o'clock at night. So I bought sort of quite a few books. Originally I had only bought 4 and then something happened. So first I bought the whole Dark Elements trilogy by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So the first one is White Hot Kiss. The second one is Stone Cold Touch, which I'm reading right now. And Every Last Breath is the third one. And I own White Hot Kiss as an ebook, and I actually read it a few years ago. And then I didn't continue on with the series, but I really want to read the spin-off book of this, so whatever. This is a trilogy. It follows this girl named Layla, and she is half demon and half like gargoyle. They're called wardens, but they like fight demons, and so she is dealing with like the issue of not really belonging to either group, and she has like this lifelong like crush on one of the wardens that she was raised with, because the wardens raised her, and then a demon shows up and she's like, oh, he's cute, and then they have a thing and stuff. I don't know. I mean, it's a Jennifer L. Armentrout book. I enjoyed White Hot Kiss. I gave it 4 stars the first time. I gave it 4 stars the second time because I did reread it. And I will hopefully finish those in September. So hopefully you'll see them in my September wrap up. And then I did buy that spin-off book. It is called Storm and Fury, and it just came out earlier this year. This thing is pretty big, and I really wanted this. This one does kind of spoil the romance in that first series, which I'm pretty sure that the Dark Elements trilogy, if I remember correctly, and this is like part of why I didn't continue reading it, is that she being Jennifer L. Armentrout, didn't know who she was going to have Layla end up with when she started writing it. And for some reason I want to say that her plan was to wait to see what like fan reception was. I will say, only one book in, and then like 50 pages into book 2, I feel like there's a side, and the side I feel is the right one. So I don't know if that's really true, but that made me kind of uncomfortable, because I hate shipping the wrong couple. It has never happened, I think. There's only one ship in like all of reading that I can think of that I don't like. Wouldn't even call it a ship, and that is Harry and Ginny, because Harry should have ended up with nobody, because Harry should have died. This has been Holly's Hot Takes. So anyway, so this one features basically the other guy that Layla doesn't end up with, but the main character, what is her name? Trinity. She has RP, which is retinitis pigmentosa, and which is a degenerative eye disease. Is that the right word? That eventually will take your sight. And Jennifer L. Armentrout actually has RP, and she was diagnosed a few years ago. And so it's really interesting to me to have her write. Like, I would have been interested in this book anyways for a variety of reasons, but then for her to also explore that. Also, I am currently part of like a Facebook group. It's public now. About 700 fans came together, and now more fans are joining, which is awesome, of Jennifer. And on September 20th started posting a quote from this book, which apparently the scene is very emotional. I have not read this, obviously. And kind of in honor of Jen and to show like support for her and everything. And it's actually a quote that I think Jen either has the whole quote tattooed on her or part of it is tattooed on her, and it comes from something that happened to her at one of her eye appointments. Her eye doctor had asked her, can you still see the stars at night? Because like trying to gauge her vision. And I think what happens in here is Trinity talks about being asked that question and saying, I didn't know because I didn't pay attention. And this idea of taking that for granted, like that's always another option. Like you'll always see another sunrise, you'll always see the stars again, and for everybody that's not true. So yeah, seeing everybody's like posts and videos and everything has been so amazing. And really the whole, like, not to go off on a side tangent, but a huge part of that group coming together, it's not just about showing support for Jen and to try and raise awareness for RP, although it is that as well, but it's also about just like invisible illnesses, invisible diseases. Like there are people in the group who have RP or have diabetes or fibromyalgia or anxiety or all of these things that like are crippling or have a huge impact on your life and you can't see them. And so it's been really emotional to see people's updates. I'll put the hashtags up on the screen if you want to check them out and see people's stories and their posts. People made tons of great merchandise for this. Ow. So you can check that out. Also, if you've ever seen Molly Burke, she is a YouTuber. I subscribe to her. She's great. She has RP. And she actually had like a really aggressive case. Like I don't think she ever had night vision, if I remember correctly, because that's one that goes pretty easily. But she is technically blind. Like it's interesting to hear her talk about it, because blindness is not one thing, and it's not just like blackness in front of, like, in your eyes. So she can see like really bright light, and she can see like glitter, like, so she can sort of see things like that. Like I have no idea, like I can't explain to you what it looks like because I'm not her, but so she can see some stuff. So she loves using glitter and all of these things because it's something she can still sort of enjoy and see. But it's super interesting watching her and hearing her talk about her journey and her experience going from sighted to blind and the difference between blind people and sighted people, and at least her experience and everything. And Jen has shared some of her story as well. Anyways, moving on. So and then I was watching some YouTube videos. I really need to stop watching like anticipated releases and stuff, because then I just want to buy books, you know. But it's also, you know, fall, and we're coming up on Halloween, and a lot of people are talking about like horror and thrillers and all those kinds of books, and I don't read those kinds of books. I am a big fat baby. I will read a mystery occasionally, but it's more of like a romance with a mystery. With one kind of exception is I've started reading the Veronica Speedwell books by Deanna Rayburn, and I think that those are probably more historical mystery with a romance in them, and I do really enjoy those. So I decided to get more like Halloween-y spooky reads. So one is like a backlist, and that is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. And people talk about this all the freaking time, and I believe the last book in the series just came out, and I have been interested in this. I was gonna get it from the library, but they only had it on audio, and I didn't want to do the audiobook, so I finally caved and I picked it up, and I hope it doesn't freak me out, because like I said, I'm a really big baby. But I'm really excited about it, and I think that this is like a YA historical fiction mystery thing, and I think there's like a romance in it. Oh look, there's like pictures. Or is there just one picture? I'm trying not to spoil myself. Oh no, there's a few. That's cool. So I'm excited, and I'm gonna try and read this sometime this fall. Yes. And then the other one is a new release, and that is Serpent and Dove by Shirley Jackson. Oh, she's pretty. I don't know why I look in the back like it's gonna have a pronunciation guide. Ooh, publishers. Could we do that in like the author about thing? We start putting pronunciation guides on all author names? That'd be great. But this, I know this is part of a series, which sure, why not? Makes perfect sense. That was the only way for you to get up there. I'm not doing anything. But this is YA, I believe. Yeah, because it's epic read, so it has to be. And it is a witch. Her name is Louise, I think. Yes. And then there is this guy named Reed, and he is a witch hunter, and she's like on the run. So they get married because the safest place for her to be is with a witch hunter. So I'm pretty excited. I'm hoping that it's gonna be like kind of angsty and a little over the top, you know, but I thought this might be a nice Halloween read, like my pace Halloween read. So then I'll do my 2 Owl Crate books. So for the month of September, I almost said October. For the month of September, Owl Crate did 2 books. They did their regular YA book of the month, and then they did a Penguin Classics book. Again, of course, why would any other way have worked for that journey that you had to take? Anyways, I saw somebody commented the other day, hopefully I will have replied by now, who said that Murphy reminded you of your cat. I don't know if you mean like looks wise or personality wise. If so, sorry for your suffering as well. I mean, I love my cat. He is my life, but he is kind of a pain when I'm trying to film videos. And he's not like this when I'm not filming. Like, he likes to sit on me when I'm laying down, like when I'm reading. But other than that, he's pretty easygoing. But the minute a camera turns on, he is like all over everything. But anyways, so then they did a Penguin Classic for their Penguin Horror Collection. And I will say, going into this Owl Crate, I knew that most likely I wouldn't want either of these books. You know. But I did look at the Penguin Classics, and I didn't know if they were going to just pick one book and everybody gets one book, or if it was going to be like random. And I still don't know. I should look up, see if there's any like Owl Crate unboxings and see if people got the other book. But some of the books were like Frankenstein, and there was like a Poe collection, and I would have been okay with either of those. Frankenstein I would have probably read at some point, and then I've read some Poe before and I like it, so that's fine. But no, it was The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson, which I'm sure is a fantastic novel. And it has an introduction by Guillermo del Toro. I think he is involved in this whole collection. Yeah, I quickly read the synopsis on Goodreads. I don't even remember what it was about, but it definitely gave me like, this is a true honest-to-God horror story, and that's just not me. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with this at this point. I also got something in the Owl Crate box that I'm never gonna use, so maybe I'll do like a giveaway or something. Stay tuned and we'll see. I've never done a giveaway because I feel like I don't have enough subscribers or enough people watching my videos to do one, but I don't want to just like throw this stuff away, right? What are you doing? No, I'm playing with a toy. And then the other book is The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones, which I have never even heard of this. Usually the Owl Crate books I've at least heard of. I think this cover is freaking gorgeous, and this is the Owl Crate exclusive. The regular cover is reversed, sort of. I think they say reversed, but I think it was black, just a black background, and I think this was still gold. I'll put a picture up here. I'm just gonna read you the synopsis. So it says, 17-year-old Rin cares about only two things, her family and her family's graveyard, and right now both are in dire straits. Since the death of her parents, Rin and her siblings have been scraping together a meager existence as gravediggers in the remote village of Kolbrin, right? I don't know. Which sits at the foot of a harsh and deadly mountain range that was once home to the Fae. The problem with being a gravedigger in Kolbrin, though, is that the dead don't always stay dead. The risen corpses are known as bone houses, and legend says that they're the result of an old curse. When Ellis, an apprentice map maker with a mysterious past, arrives in town, the bone houses attack with a new ferocity. What is it that draws them near, and more importantly, how can they be stopped for good? Together, Alice and Rin embark on a journey that will take them into the heart of the mountains, where they will have to face both the curse and the deeply buried truths about themselves. Equal parts classic horror novel and original fairy tale, the Bone Houses will have you spellbound from the very first page. I might read it. I don't know. I might wait to see if other people read it and then hear what they say and see how like creepy it is. It sounds interesting, but the like horror element, I know it's YA, so it's probably not that creepy, but I don't, like, seriously, you guys, I'm like super a baby. Like, I don't even watch trailers for horror movies. Like, I mean, it sounds interesting. And then the last book I bought was kind of an impulse purchase. I actually ended up going to Barnes & Noble and picking this up. Why? Since I didn't read it right away? I don't know. And that is The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch, which is the first book in the Gentleman Bastards series. And I don't know if I ever said this on a video, I actually had started reading this like a year and a half ago maybe, as an ebook, and I wasn't getting into it. So a couple things though about this. So this is a fantasy novel. I think there's like a gang of like criminals, like con artist people, and there's like a heist, and this is supposed to be like amazing. I think it's relatively popular, but it's almost like a cult read, I feel like, the way people talk about it. So my understanding, hold on, okay, words. So I recently started following more fantasy YouTubers, and this is a good thing because it broadens my experience. It's also a horrible thing because now I want to read like all the fantasy books, as if I don't already have enough books to read. So, you know, but it's fine, it's fine. And one is Murphy Napier? Is that how she says it? She says it all the time. I feel like I should know. I'm sorry. Sorry, Murphy, if you ever see this. I'm sorry. And so she loves this book and this series. And she talked about it a lot in her videos. And I was like, oh, okay, well. And this is supposed to be like a really confusing read. Like there's time jumps and everything. And so I think knowing that now going in will make it easier for me to read, because I'll at least know that it's okay that I'm confused and I'm not just like an idiot, which is how I kind of felt the first time. Also, I was reading it as an ebook, and it's just easier for me to read a physical copy than it is an ebook, so I think that was a factor as well. And so I was like, oh, okay, I'll pick it up. Like, I'll pick it up from the library as a physical book or something. And then Murphy, on an episode of World Hoppers, which is a collaborative channel that she's a part of, said that while she does not watch a lot of TV, she loves the TV show Leverage, which you may not know is my favorite TV show. I have seen that show so many times. I love it. I think it's amazing. It is just amazing. Highly recommend. And it follows a group, well, 4 criminals, one guy who went after criminals, and they come together in criminalness to take down bad people. So they use like their criminal skills to go after like shady politicians and shady businessmen and shady companies and just scummy people in the world. And I really like it. I love the character dynamics, I love the stories, I love the cinematography, I love everything about that show. And she, in addition to saying she liked Leverage, she said that she feels that they're a little similar, you know, because of like con stuff, you know, that kind of thing. So I was like, sold. And I immediately went out and bought Lies of Black Lamora. I also immediately DM'd Murphy and told her that I bought it because she said she liked Leverage. And she responded, thank you, Murphy, very kind. So I am really excited, and I'm going to try to read this in the next month or so, because I am excited and I would like to read it, and hopefully I really enjoy it as well. You know. So this was way longer than I was planning on being, so sorry for my, I think a huge contributing factor was my rambling craziness about RP and Jennifer Ella Arming Trout, but truly check it out, learn more, you know, be aware of the people around you, stuff like that, you know. And I will be back next month with another book haul because I spend money. Murphy, you're gonna have to get a job. I hear animals get tons of sponsorships on Instagram, so we just gotta figure out what your niche is. Are you serious? Now he refused to look at me. Okay, we're done. Let's thumbnail this.